6 past the hour, the U.S. continues to set single-day records with more than 194,000 cases on Friday and no signs of the rate of infection slowing down. Look at these headlines. Cases are up 1,200% in Cleveland, while 1 in 49 Coloradans are believed to be contagious with the virus. Daily deaths are also on the rise, adding to the 257,000 Americans who have now died. All this increasing the strain on already overburdened hospitals. There are now fears that not only hospitals becoming inundated, but that care may need to be rationed because of the overwhelming number of cases. Dozens of hospitals are bracing for even more patients following the Thanksgiving holiday. Joining us now, Reverend William Barber. He is president of Repairs of the Breach and co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign, which has organized caravans today for Moral Monday in 24 states, plus Washington, D.C., to mourn the 250,000 Americans who have died from the coronavirus. Also with us, family doctor at Duke University, Dr. Viviana Martinez Bianchi. She has been involved in the pandemic response and is working to improve health equity across the state of North Carolina in response to COVID-19. Really great to have you both. Reverend Barber, tell us about the caravan and also pointing out that we don't hear the President of the United States talk much, if anything at all, about the people who have been lost due to this pandemic.
Yeah. You know, one of the terrible things is that Trump and McConnell and those following them are really committing crimes against humanity. This is tremendously immoral, and we've not had any time of national mourning. And among those that are organizing today in 25 states in the District of Columbia is a young girl, 19 years old, named Olivia from Mississippi. She's lost 11 family members, 11 family members in coronavirus. And she's going to be leading one of the caravans in Mississippi. And we're calling them caravans of remembrance and caravans of mourning, saying we can't forget these deaths and just move past them like nothing has happened. And then we must, in their name, demand a comprehensive, just COVID relief and a smooth transition, and then a moral agenda going forward. We're talking about 257,000 deaths. We only make up 4% of the global population. We have 20% of the deaths. We're talking about one out of every 4 people who are working are either unemployed or working at poverty wages. We're talking about 100 million people who are food insecure. And we're talking about the fact that 210,000 of these deaths could have possibly been avoided. So what we're going to do is have on this National Moral Monday caravans and of remembrance and mourning, but also to say that those of us who are living, we have a responsibility now in the name of those who have died so needlessly to fight for change in this moment.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.